Hello everyone and welcome back my dear students to the offline video series of biology of 7th standard. So this is the second video of our offline series of 7th standard biology, as we have started with lesson number 1, plant tissues and animal tissues. So in our first part of this offline series we have started with lesson number 1 and we have started with different types of plant tissues in them. So there are two important plant tissues, that are meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Further, permanent tissue is again subdivided into simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. After that, we have studied about the subtypes of simple permanent tissues, that are supportive tissues and protective tissues. In case of protective tissues, there are again three subcategories, that are parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Here, the first subpart of permanent tissue is being completed. Now here we are going to start with second subtype in this video. So let us start with complex permanent tissue. Complex permanent tissues are also called as conducting tissues or vascular tissues, as they conduct different types of food, materials, vitamins, minerals and salts or nutrients whatever are required for the growth of the plant. Xylem and phloem are the two important types of conducting tissues found in plants. Let us have a look on the pictures of xylem and phloem and try to find out more information about them.
Xylem is found of thick-walled and tubular, often of dead cells. These cells are placed end to end, and the partitions between the cell dissolves to form long channels for the transport of water and minerals. The xylem tissue consists of tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. Xylem cells transport water and minerals absorbed by the roots from the soil in upward direction. The water is used for preparing glucose during the process of photosynthesis, and loss of water is been done through the process of transpiration.
Let us have a look on difference between xylem and phloem.
Xylem transports water and minerals which are absorbed by the roots to other parts of the plant, while phloem conducts the food manufactured in leaves to other parts of the plants. Xylem consists of only dead cells. Phloem mainly consists of living cells. In xylem, conduction is only in one direction, that is, only upward from the roots, while in phloem, the conduction is bidirectional, that is, both upward and downward from the leaves.
Here is activity number 2 for you to perform.
In this activity, you have to use the prepared slides of various plant tissues. You have to place that slides under a microscope and observe them. When you focus on the microscope and when you try to find out the structure of all these different types of plant tissues, you will see the structures of each and every plant tissue like parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, xylem and phloem as shown on the screen. This is how the structure of each plant tissue will look like under a microscope.
Let us have a look on tissue of woody stem.
The ring of xylem stem indicates the age of that particular stem. So here is a diagrammatic sketch of cross section of 3 years old woody stem of xylem.
Here is activity number 3 for you to perform.
The activity is to study the conduction of water by xylem. Cut the lower end of fresh carrot and you will see a central yellowish circle. Leave the carrot with its cut end dipped in a solution of red ink in a beaker for few hours. Now cut this carrot long Y's. You will see that central cylinder in the carrot has become red in color. This shows that the ink has been absorbed and transported in upward direction.
Here we have completed half chapter, that is plant tissues. As I have told you that this chapter has been divided into two main parts. First is the plant tissue and second is the animal tissue. So here we have completed the topic of plant tissue and we are going to revise that topic in the detail. So here is the flowchart regarding plant tissue so that you can remember all the types and subtypes of it.
Here is the detailed classification of plant tissues. Plant tissues mainly consist of meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Permanent tissue further is classified into protective tissue, supporting tissue, and conducting tissue. Supporting tissues are further subdivided as parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma, while conducting tissues are further divided into xylem and phloem.
Now we are going to start with a new topic, that is animal tissue. Animal tissues are broadly classified into four types of categories and they are epithelium tissues, nervous tissues, muscular tissues and connective tissues. So one by one we are going to study about each of these tissues. Before that, I want to tell you some information about animal tissues. As I have told you that plant tissues are found in plant and they help them to grow, to enhance their growth, and all these types of tissues helps the plant for the growth vertically and horizontally of a plant. Similarly, animal tissues also helps for the body of the animal in order to grow and in order to carry out all the cell divisions and to conduct all the nutrients, minerals, water and all the material which has been required for the growth of that particular animal. So, we will start with first type of animal tissue, that is epithelium tissue. So in order to study epithelium tissue, we will see some pictures of epithelium tissue and then we will proceed further with the categories of epithelium tissue. So here are some of the examples of epithelium tissue. Epithelium tissues are the group of cells which combines together and makes a layer to all the internal and external organs of body, which helps to protect our body from any kind of external threat or mechanical injury. Basically, the function of epithelium tissue is to protect the body from any kind of injury. Now let us have a look on the categories of epithelium tissues.
So, on the basis of shape of the cells, the epithelium tissues are of mainly four types. First one is the squamous epithelium. They are composed of thin, flattened and polygonal cells. For example, the cell has the outer layer of skin and they are usually protective. Second type of epithelium is cuboidal. They are composed of cube-like cells. For example, the inner wall lining of kidney tubules. These cells are usually concerned with absorption. Third type is columnar epithelium. They are composed of vertically arranged tall cylindrical and column-like cells. The inner lining of stomach and intestine consists of this type of epithelium tissues. The fourth one is ciliated epithelium. At some places in the body, for example in the lining of windpipe and oviduct, the columnar epithelium has developed cilia. Such epithelium are called as ciliated epithelium. The cilia keeps lashing and move the substance in its contact.